can catch a better view. Life was simple back in those days. In honor of the American Gold Star mothers for their Today we are on the banks of Hudson River, visiting the village of Sleepy Hollow. Across you can see the newly rebuilt Tappan Zee Bridge, and this is the river walk that leads to the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse. There's a gentleman fishing. Beautiful day for fishing. It's first week of November here, and I think it's a record breaker because I'm wearing a t-shirt and so is everyone else. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Some overcast skies, but other than that, no complaints. So the plan is to check out Sleepy Hollow, a very historic, legendary little town, little village here in New York. A very famous author lived here, Washington Irving. I do believe they named a school after him. He's also buried in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, along with some of the Rockefellers. And I believe he lived in Tarrytown, New York, which is a neighboring village to the south of Sleepy Hollow. But look at how beautiful the scenery is from this path that I'm on, heading toward the lighthouse. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a plane flying above. Yeah, so I'm gonna enjoy today. Looking forward to it. Lots to see, lots to do, and the days just fly by. Every day's a new adventure, guys. All right, so we are getting closer to the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse. So according to eastoftheweb.com, the dominant spirit that haunts this enchanted region is the apparition of a figure on a horseback without a head. It is said to be the ghost of Haitian trooper whose head had been carried away by a cannonball in some nameless battle during the Revolutionary War, and who was ever seen by the country folk hurrying along in the gloom of the night as if on the wings of the wind. Historians of those parts allege that the body of the trooper, having been buried in the yard of a church at no great distance, the ghost rides forth to the scene of battle in nightly quest of his head, and that the rushing speed with which he sometimes passes along the hollow is owing to his being in a hurry to get back to the churchyard before daybreak. The specter is known at all the country's firesides by the name of the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. And that's the legend, guys. Alright, so we are approaching the lighthouse, and I hope to get a close view for you guys. Sleepy Hollow is a village in the town of Mount Pleasant in Westchester County, that is, New York. The village is located in the east bank of the Hudson River, approximately 30 miles north of New York City, and is served by the Phillipsburg Manor stop on the Metro North Hudson line. To the south of Sleepy Hollow, as I mentioned earlier, is the village of Terrytown, and to the north and east are unincorporated parts of Mount Pleasant. The 2020 census states that the village population was roughly 9,986. Also, the village is home to the Phillipsburg Manor house and the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow, as well as the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, where many notable people are buried. And there's the iconic lighthouse. It looks like they're renovating it or working on it. Let's see if we can take a closer look. I gotta say, the scenery around me is just picturesque. You can see the mountains in the distance with the fog and the clouds rolling over. This is called the Wishing Wall. Okay. And there is the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse. It's not the tallest lighthouse. Look how calm the waters are. Not quite sure how long this wall of art spans, but I'm enjoying it nevertheless. Between the art wall and the beautiful scenic view, it's hard to decide which way to point the camera. Okie doke, and this is the end of the art wall. So being that we are visiting Sleepy Hollow today, we should probably gain a little knowledge about the famous author. So Washington Irving was born on April 3rd, 1783 and passed on November 28, 1859. He was an American short story writer, biographer, historian, and a diplomat of the early 19th century. He is best known for his short stories Rip Van Winkle, written in 1819, and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, written in 1820, both of which appear in his collection, The Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon Gent. His historical works include biographies of Oliver Goldsmith, Muhammad, and George Washington, as well as several histories of 15th century Spain that deal with subjects such as Alhambra, Christopher Columbus, and the Moors. Irving served as an American ambassador to Spain back in 1840s. Stumbled on this lively little park, riverside here. Folks are enjoying the outdoors, some barbecuing, some music, some sports, a little volleyball. Folks are walking their pets. And there's some folks fishing on the rocks over here. Look at those cute dogs, all dressed up to go out and explore. How nice of a spot is that to fish on, guys? Check out that scene. Look at that. Beautiful. And I know in the evenings at nighttime that bridge lights up, makes it for a very pretty scene with the lighthouse in the background. There's a nice looking statue here of a horse that I wanted to capture. Not too shabby. Thank you. Wow, look at this monster hanging out here. Look at that big fat boy just chilling. There he is. Let's zoom in on him a little bit. He's just cleaning himself, living the good life. Okay, we'll let you be. Alright, we have a statue here of Margaret J. Horn. She's a Gold Star Mothers for the Sacrifice Service in honor of the American Gold Star Mothers for their sacrifice, service, and patriotism. Okay. Nice little bronze statue. So we are walking down Hudson Street, which is a residential part of town. Show you folks how the locals live here in Sleepy Hollow. Walking up a hill, huffing and puffing. And so according to niche.com gives Sleepy Hollow an overall grade of A-, They get an A for public schools, A for crime and safety. Nightlife gets an A. Diversity gets an A. Good for families gets an A. And look at this view. This view also gets an A. Look at that beautiful view, guys. Can you imagine just watching the sunset? The jobs here gets a C minus. Cost of living a C minus. Weather a B minus. Commute A minus. Outdoor activities gets an A. Of course, this is a suburb of New York City, located in Westchester County, and it's one of the best places to live in New York. Now, living in Sleepy Hollow offers residents with an urban feel, and most residents rent their homes. There's a lot of restaurants here, bars, coffee shops, and many different parks. Many families and young professionals live in Sleepy Hollow. The public schools in Sleepy Hollow are highly rated. Median home value $693,900. Median rent $1,475. 64% of folks rent their homes here. There's a nice little restaurant. Next, we are going to check out some of the comments from the locals as we are slowly heading toward the village itself, the heart of the village. There's a total of 28 reviews on niche.com. So let's read some reviews, guys. Hudson Inker Bar. Okay. No one gives Sleepy Hollow a negative review. It's average, very good, and excellent. We'll start with excellent. This one person writes, Sleepy Hollow is my birthplace. One thing I love about this small village is that it is known for its famous legend of Sleepy Hollow. Every year, Sleepy Hollow including its neighboring village, Tarrytown, hosts its Halloween parade and after party. Many people from different cities go there to celebrate with friends and family. Both of these villages are the Halloween hotspots of New York State. Not only that, but you will also find plenty of great restaurants and bars, a park next to the Hudson River with a view of New York City from afar, and many historic sites such as Lyndhurst Mansion, Phillipsburg Manor, and the Old Dutch Reformed Church. Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown are the two places I highly recommend visiting. This is the Saint Teresa Church to our right. Saint Teresa of Avila. This is the Beekman Laundromat to our left. All right, we are entering the heart of the village. It's got pizza and pasta. Oh, look at those cool Halloween decorations. And of course the iconic Headless Horseman in the center of it all. This is Teresa Street. Very charming little town. The only problem that I read was many folks are moving in, but there's just not enough residential space, which pushes the rent prices to go sky high, and many folks cannot afford to live here due to the hike in rent prices. They have a little bookstore here, a bookshop. There's a deli called Justin's Deli and Cafe to our left. We are gonna bear left. Walking past the Winfield Morse School. So I'm gonna read another review from a local. Person writes, gives it 5 stars. Sleepy Hollow is a beautiful town with a diverse demographic and a great school system. The diversity and culture at Sleepy Hollow has enriched my experience living there and is something I truly love about it. The main street of town has excellent restaurants and various types of cuisine from Mexican to Korean to Greek. The town is very clean, safe, and in a beautiful location right next to Hudson River. Families and students make up most of the population. It is definitely a bit expensive to live in due to the location, but the overall community there is excellent and very welcoming. Now we are approaching Elm Street, and they have the Headless Horseman emblem, and I'm not sure how Freddy Krueger would deal with the Headless Horseman. And in front of us is the Phillipsburg Manor, which is an old colonial estate. Of course, you can get tickets and get a tour, but this is as far as we're gonna go today, to the gate and take a little peek at a very historic building in the heart of Sleepy Hollow. They have a nice sized welcoming visitors center. You get tours. There's a gift shop. So we are at the Phillipsburg Manor, an 18th century working farm with water powered grist mill. Phillipsburg Manor explores the powerful stories of commerce and slavery in the colonial North. They also have the Kikuit, which is a Rockefeller estate. I saw pictures and it's absolutely beautiful. And if you get a chance to check out Washington Irving's Sunnyside, Riverside estate of the legendary author. Oh, here we can catch a better view. You can actually see the mill to our left. Life was simple back in those days.
Phillipsburg Manor is an 18th century manor farm. Think of it as a northern plantation. You learn a lot about the workings of the farm, the making of flour, the making of salted dairy products to be sent over to Europe and the Caribbean. You learn especially about the enslaved people who lived and worked in the basement. They ran the farm. They were the miller. They were the farmers. They were the dairy makers. We know a lot about their names, their ages, their family relationships, their genders. They further enriched the Phillips family, who were the landowners. These people did a yeoman's job, and they are the ones who kept Phillipsburg Manor going.
And if folks wanted to learn something about the tours online, what's the website?
HudsonValley.org.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Presented to the Village of North Tarrytown by the Centennial Committee. This is the iconic Headless Horseman statue. Many folks like to come down here for pictures. As do I. Sometimes people tell me I lose my head, but it's still on here, so go figure. This here is known as the Headless Horseman Bridge. Pretty little path. There's a historic sign described by the Irving in the legendary Sleepy Hollow formerly spanned this stream at this spot. Okay, and here's the Old Dutch Church up ahead, built in 1685. Let's see if we can take a closer look. Dutch Reformed Church has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places back in 1966. It's closed, but maybe we can take a peek inside through a window and not get a trespassing charge. There she is in all of her glory. Oh. I guess we can go around. Let's do that. We have some really old graves here in the church courtyard / cemetery. We'll take a peek inside one of the windows. It looks fairly basic. Just a quick peek inside the chapel. Very spooky. They say this is one of the most haunted cemeteries in the United States. Person passed away in 1850. Michelle Van Wert. And this person, here lies the body of Susan's wife of Wolvert, who departed this life December 1767. Wow, guys. Take a little walk around the cemetery. Hopefully we can find some notable names. Let's see what this sign reads. Legends and lore. Headless Horseman tethers his horse nightly among graves in this churchyard according to the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Arthur Washington Irving. The grounds here close in about a half an hour. And it's getting dark. Would you guys spend the night in the cemetery? Not sure if I would. As most of you know, many folks come to the cemetery to see the grave, the final resting place of Mr. Irving himself. And this is the location of Irving's burial right here, guys. Took a little huffing and puffing to get here, but you're not allowed past the gate. And this is the Irving family grave plot. You can see some folks making donations. So his grave is the one that has an American flag on each side of the stone. It was kind of hard to see at first. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Right back there. Irving Washington's grave, guys. This over here is Chok Thai. I think it's a restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. Across the street there, they have a little store that sells pumpkins. I would expect nothing less here in Sleepy Hollow. Cold pumpkins. Across the street is the Witcher Park. We are walking down North Broadway. Horseman Bagels. Grab some ice cream at Carvel. There's a sign for you. This is the way toward downtown and riverfront. That's where we will be heading. Halloween decorations are still up. This is the ultimate Halloween town. Street is their fire department and the police station. Let's check out this sign over here. That's a tourist map. Sleepy Hollow Country right here. And we explored the Dutch church. We took a peek at the Phillipsburg Manor, and we got to see the 1883 Lighthouse. All right. Spirits store, wine and spirits. Look at this cool scarecrow. Very clean little village. Post office. Mexican American deli. Chucky. Another eatery where you can have some nice quesadillas and burritos. Little grocery store. And this is the Beekman Ale House. Check this out. Place is popping. Okay. Little restaurant, Delgado's Grocery. And this will wrap up our walkthrough of Sleepy Hollow, a very welcoming, charming little village. has a lot to offer. I like it a lot. I strongly recommend it to come enjoy the sights, the shopping, and the memories that you will build by visiting Sleepy Hollow.